Donald Trump soft launched national martial law, talking about DC, but then saying, we're going to look at New York City, we're going to look at Baltimore, we're going to look at Oakland. And the media is mostly shrugging, and a lot of Americans have become desensitized to this. This is a red alert, my friends. Some of the changes that Donald Trump made to the tax law, I don't agree with them, but they're not sirens going off, right? This is that. Donald Trump announcing that he is invoking Section 740 of the DC Home Rule Act, taking control of the DC Police Department.
Hey, so I just want to let you guys know that about a month ago, Trump supporters said that it was absolutely ridiculous that people think that the President of the United States of America would enact martial law anywhere in the United States of America. As of today, Donald Trump has announced that he is going to enact martial law in the city of Washington, D.C. And there's rumors going around that he might be going for LA and Chicago next.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. So Donald Trump just soft launched international martial law. First, it was DC, but he's already eyeing New York City, Baltimore, Oakland, and the scary part, the media is barely blinking. This isn't politics as usual. This is red alert movement for America. Let's see how people are reacting to this. But before we do that, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out.
Donald Trump soft launched national martial law, talking about DC, but then saying, we're going to look at New York City, we're going to look at Baltimore, we're going to look at Oakland. And the media is mostly shrugging, and a lot of Americans have become desensitized to this. This is a red alert, my friends. Some of the changes that Donald Trump made to the tax law, I don't agree with them, but they're not sirens going off, right? This is that. Donald Trump announcing that he is invoking Section 740 of the DC Home Rule Act, taking control of the DC Police Department. Listen to this.
And worse. This is Liberation Day in DC, and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. And
there is no more dry run. It is happening right now. And I know that no matter what I cover, some people write in and they say, David, you're downplaying the threat. And others write in and say, David, you're hyperbolically overplaying the threat. This is an authoritarian nightmare, and you only need to listen to Trump. Go straight to the source. I always say, CAPS, critically analyze primary sources. Go and listen to the full press conference, and you will see that there is no context that could make this okay, other than Trump saying before all of it, the next 45 minutes, I'm just going to be saying things I don't really mean. That's the only context that could mitigate this. Here is Trump saying, we are going to use the language of violence, which is the language they understand.
until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night, and they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, you know, they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face, and then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit, and they can hit real hard.
First of all, fuck Donald Trump. Second of all, to the black people that are rationalizing Donald Trump taking over and militarizing DC streets under the pretext of crime, when crime in DC is at a 30-year low, you are part of the fucking problem too. And if it don't apply, let it fly. Okay, I don't need an announcement about how you haven't seen nobody say something. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own two eyes. Here is the thing. for anybody to believe that Donald Trump coming in with the military is a solution, and for anybody to think, even after all that we've seen from this administration, that it's going to only impact the so-called bad ones, is irrational. The bottom line is the reason why Donald Trump is taking over DC is because DC is still the predominantly black city. And he looks at blackness and criminality as being one and the same. And so if you think that the Donald Trump that has told the National Guard, do whatever it is that you want to do to people, the same motherfucker that sat up there and wanted to shoot Black Lives Matter protesters last time he was in office, the same person that one of his first orders of business was pardoning a DC cop who killed somebody, and whose Department of Justice has gotten rid of consent decrees that we fought for in the so-called racial reckoning. If you think that that administration and that person's aim, oh, and by the way, the person who ran on giving cops indemnity, if you think that that's the solution of bringing in over 1,000 people to police and racially profile and harass people, and you think you're going to be exempt, then you're fucking unhinged. And guess what? If anything should happen to your dumb ass, don't fucking come to us with no GoFundMe, no hashtag shit, no relief, nothing, because you're one of those people that think that this shit is okay, and it's not okay. All right? The bottom line is this is bullshit, and this is all about criminalizing black people. But you know what? Republicans are smart. They know that if you put black people at the forefront of, oh, we got to get the blacks under control, then people will go for anything. But it's not going to be so cute when they're impacted by the shit as well. The same way that all people thought it was going to be cute with all this immigration shit, and they're not immigrants, but they're getting fucked with, it's going to be the same goddamn thing with DC. And then they're going to move on to New York City, Chicago, and other black cities next. So, I know you might be afraid, and I'm not trying to minimize crime by anybody. Be very, very clear about that. But I tell you what, I'll take my chances with the 30-year crime low in D.C. than with bringing a whole bunch of motherfuckers in there who got marching orders to fuck with us.
I had to stop watching that damn press conference because it was working my last nerve. Basically, Trump wants to take over Washington, D.C. and probably declare martial law. He is using the Doge boy getting attacked and jumped as his catalyst to do so. First, it was the damn curfew for the teens and the adolescents. You know what? I don't really mind that too much. And now it's getting worse. He wants to kick out all the homeless people. Where the fuck are they going to go? On top of that, he said we would not be using the National Guard. But then Petey Boy got up on the stage and said, yes, the National Guard will be deployed in the upcoming week. Pam Bodie will be taking over all, and I do mean all, law enforcement in Washington, D.C., which means they will report to her, which means they will be reporting to Trump. It's not going to be safe. They're not looking just for criminals. They're looking for everybody and their mom. He mentioned illegal immigrants over and over and over again, which we know that's bullshit. He mentioned Kamala and Biden over and over and over again. Then he went to the LGBTQIA and transgender people again. Washington, D.C., I don't know what y'all gonna do, but please do it safely. Y'all know this man does not care about people. He will take y'all out no matter what. And he will use the justification of safety. This is his way of coming into martial law. This is how he's going to do it. He's going to make up lies. He's going to over-exaggerate every situation. Mention Chicago, Baltimore, Philly, Watts, you know, urban black areas as problem childs in America. DC will be the example. DC will see how far he can actually go without being hit by a judge. Y'all be safe out there.
The president has been very clear that he is going to take the action necessary to secure the city of Washington for the people who live here, for all the American people and all who visit here. It's our capital city. It is more violent than Baghdad. It is more violent than parts of Ethiopia, parts of many of the most dangerous places in the world. It's really shocking if you actually look at the graph that has been shown comparing parts of some of the most dangerous failed states in the world compared to D.C. D.C. is more violent, and so he's going to do what's necessary to make sure our nation's capital is safe for all Americans. Thank you.
So Stephen Miller just stepped his bald, racist ass out here with the same tired racist scare tactics dictators have been fucking using for over 100 fucking years. And I'm not letting his dirty ass slide this time. He said that DC is more violent than fucking Baghdad, more violent than Ethiopia, and that's a lie and he fucking knows it. The actual murder rate in Baghdad is far higher than DC. And in Ethiopia, a country of over 120 million people, has entire fucking regions active in conflict. But he's not giving you crime fucking data, he's giving you propaganda. He's cherry picking and fear mongering to sell you Trump's latest unconstitutional fucking stunt. And let's be clear about what this is, right? It's not a fucking cleanup. This is the forced removal of American citizens using federal troops and police without warrants, without due process, and against the will of the people. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, which is unreasonable search and seizures, the Fifth Amendment, which is no deprivation of liberty without due process, and the Posse Comitatus Act, which limits the president's ability to use the military for domestic law enforcement. Trump isn't fixing homelessness. He's doing what authoritarians always do. He's making the problem invisible so his base can clap without asking where those fucking people went. Spoiler, they will be dumped in underfunded shelters or left to rot in towns with no services, just so DC can look pretty for his fucking photo ops. History already wrote this playbook. They called it urban renewal in the 1950s and 60s, a fancy way to bulldoze black neighborhoods in the name of safety and progress. The end result? Displacement, poverty, and generational loss of wealth. And guess who profited? Developers, politicians, and the fucking wealthy elite. So when Stephen Miller stands there talking about securing the city, what he means is securing power for Trump, clearing the streets for the donors, and sending a message that government can make you disappear if they decide you don't fit their fucking version of America. Don't let the comparisons to failed states fool you. This is how a failed state is built. And if you're cheering it on because it's just the homeless, understand this. Once you let them trample the Constitution for one group, nobody's safe when they come for the next one.
Breaking news. News that is indeed breaking. Holy shit, y'all. It's starting. It's starting. So last night, Donald Trump issued an order to pretty much send a bunch of the National Guard, security guard, to Washington, D.C., and now everyone's implying that he's supposed to be enacting martial law. This is the news report that just happened, the live that was just playing, where number 47 of Washington, D.C. stated he's now going to be taking over the Washington Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control under the guise of the National Security Guard or the National Guard. Martial law is about to be enacted. I was literally in the middle of eating breakfast. I'm so sorry, y'all. I was literally in the middle of eating breakfast, and I just watched this entire thing. He said, I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. I'm sorry. You mean the same nation's capital that you previously took part in doing the insurrection on? That same capital? And now he's taking control over the capital. This is the start of that dictatorship that we were talking about. This is what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now, y'all. In Washington, D.C., Donald Trump is putting the whole city on lockdown.
Hey, I was right again. As usual, I'm always fucking right. Trump just finished his speech. He announced the military takeover of Washington, D.C. He also said that this is the first step. He's going to go for L.A., he's going to go for New York, he's going to go for Chicago. This is the military takeover of Washington, D.C. Fully expect every single one of your MAGA content creators, the right-wing funded pundits, to completely support this decision because they're incapable of making their own decisions. And if Donald Trump says it's okay, then it is okay. In the meantime, if you still have a functioning brain, this is the point of no return. This is the point of no return, okay? There's a lot of things I want to say, but I can't say them because this app is under their control as well. So pick up on what I'm putting down and understand that democracy is over. The American empire is over. Donald Trump has full and total control of every single sector of the American government. There is no separation of powers. There is no checks and balances. Donald Trump is an authoritarian dictator, and $50 says this post gets me banned.
By the time Trump is done in the White House, Republicans will never vote red again. They will turn blue. In fact, they will want to paint the White House blue because the way Trump is tearing stuff up, listen, I don't care if they take over Chicago. I don't care what states or cities or whatever they take over. I'm not protesting. I'm not getting involved. This is what they wanted. This is what they voted for. This is what they get, right? I'm not getting involved. But by the time he's done in this White House, Republicans will be eating their words. They will be voting blue. I guarantee you the next president will be a Democrat. I don't care who runs. Anybody can run. They are going to win. As long as they are a Democrat, they are going to win. That's one. Listen, if you don't know what martial law is, I recommend you look it up. And you can look it up on ChatGPT. All you got to do is type in what is martial law. Is martial law coming to the United States? Is it happening in the United States? Ask those type of questions. What does martial law mean for me? Look into that. Go and get you a passport. You may want to go on a vacation. Get you and your kids passports. If I were you, that's what I would do, because you may need a vacation, right? Also, look into crypto. Look into meme coins if you have any extra money. Now's the time. I don't care if you have to work 3 or 4 jobs. Any money that you can make, you need to make it. Just my advice. No financial advice, no legal, just my advice. Position yourself and become knowledgeable of what's happening in this country. It's very important.
About a month ago, Trump supporters laughed at the idea of him using martial law. They called it conspiracy talk. Fast forward to today, and he's invoking Section 740 of the DC. Home Rule had to take control of the Washington, D.C. Police Department. That's not just power move, that's a straight up warning shot to the rest of the country. And it doesn't stop there. Word on the streets is he got eyes on LA and Chicago next. This isn't random, it's political punishment aimed at blue states and cities. If you think this can't spill over into your community, think again. Now, the US is under heavy international guide deployment, and the military police are moving in. We are seeing a shift from law enforcement to outright federal control. Some people might struggle, but that's how freedom disappears quietly. White people are too distracted to notice. I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. Martial law in America should make you sit up straight. Because once a president seizes this kind of power, history shows they rarely give it back. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in the next one. Bye!